Hey, it's Shana Meyerson with YOGAthletica in Los Angeles, California, here today to get into one of the deeper hip openers that we have in yoga. It's called Agni Stambhasana. Literally means fire log pose, but I bet you think of it as something else. If you know this pose as double pigeon, that is sort of a colloquial name for it. It's not sort of. It's the colloquial name for it, but it's actually not the correct one. Agni means fire. Perhaps you already know that from your yoga studies, and Stamba is a log. So think of this pose as if you were stacking two fire logs on top of each other. I'm just gonna scoot back a little bit here. Okay. Agni Stambhasana is a particularly good hip opener because it opens both hips simultaneously. Here are the things you need to know about this pose. First of all, this is not to be confused with half lotus, okay? A lot of people don't understand the differences. So here's what you should be thinking about. In half lotus, you have what I would call pointy knees, meaning like a big angle in the knees, right? Now, in Agni Stambhasana, on the other hand, we have straight lines. So instead of the knee being pointy, we have a 90-degree bend. So a lot of people come into this pose as sort of like a half-assed half lotus, which is something like this. That's not it. Or sometimes they actually just go into half lotus thinking it's it. That's not it. So here's how you know when you've got your pose correctly. First of all, it's easiest if you use whatever the edge of your mat, doesn't matter what direction you're facing, as sort of your metric. To start, your bottom leg should be parallel to the edge of the mat. Again, it doesn't matter what direction you're facing. You just want it to be parallel, not pointy, okay? Parallel, not pointy. Okay. Once you have that set up, this top leg, it's foot to knee and knee to foot. Remember that. So it's not like here, where my knee is way past my foot. Excuse me, it's not here, I'm exaggerating, but it's not here where my foot is way past my knee. Rather, I want to align the edge of the foot with the edge of the knee. Now, likewise, you see how my foot is flexing? That's what we want. We don't want the foot pressed. So if my foot is not flexing, and I just sort of rest it in my, like the crook of my knee, which I see people do all the time, and I'm doing on the bottom and the top, not the pose, okay? So I'm gonna think about my foot, like if you could imagine, I've talked about this before, the machete. I think I talked about this in my hip opening video with this one, but if someone were to take a machete straight down, it wouldn't cut off any part of your foot or your leg. So with both of my feet flexing, the knee and the foot will be basically in alignment. I say basically because like with me, my left leg is longer than my right leg. So this is gonna go out a little further than this, but basically I have this aligned. Okay, now you might find yourself in something that looks more like this or even like this. Okay, that's okay. It just means that you've got some work to do. We all have some work to do. The goal is to have two legs that are parallel and aligned. Now, watch the other thing that I do when I come into this pose, because this is very, very important. It is going to make a difference. What kind of pose is this? It is a hip opener, right? So hip positioning is going to mean everything. Once I drop my knee to the extent that I can, I lift my hips and pull them back to the extent that my hips remain square to the front of my mat. I know I'm facing sideways in this scenario, but I'm gonna just adjust that foot so it's more aligned. But I wanna keep adjusting my hips so they are neutral, okay? So let's see what happens if I don't do that and I put my knee down. Then this top hip, right, wants to sort of lean forward a little bit and this hip wants to drop back. I don't want that. I need things to be nice and even. So I pull my hips back so my legs are stacked like two fire logs, at which point I start to move forward right into my forward bend. Okay, I'm gonna turn sideways now so you can see it from another angle, because remember that I'm just gonna shake my legs out for a second. I just ran, so my legs are not at their most flexible right now. I didn't do enough stretching. Okay, so I align ankle on knee and knee on ankle. See how I lift my hips. And also when I lift my hips, what it does is notice it gives me a head start in this fold. Remember that whenever you fold forward, you could use your hands to press you back and pull you forward at the same time. Ideally, I want to maintain a little bit of a back bend, unless of course I can get all the way down. Once my chest hits my legs and there's nowhere else for me to go, I do have the option of dropping my head. Now, I know this is going to sound completely crazy to you, but as most of you know by now, I have torn my right shoulder very badly, and I can't drop my head at the same time as extending that arm. So I'm going to do this with one arm. So if I were to extend all the way forward, I'm going to relax this arm, but you're not going to, then I can decide to fold into it this way. Now, remember what I said, you could use your arms to press your hips back at the same time, trying to root the tailbone as much as possible as I extend into this terrific stretch. If you can't get anywhere near this stretch, right? Like, so if you're somewhere like this, or like this, or anything that doesn't look like this, then the simple solution is to work on this first, okay? One leg at a time. So now I have this leg still in the parallel position and this leg supporting it while sitting tall. Okay, so one more time, in order to do Agni Stambhasana, which is not double pigeon pose. How do you know? Because the word for pigeon is kapotasana. I mean, pigeon pose would be kapotasana. So where in Agni Stambhasana do you hear kapotasana? Nowhere. It is not double pigeon, even if people call it that. I used to call it that because I didn't know the difference. I didn't really pay attention. It's good to pay attention. Oh, sorry. I'm not even explaining. Okay, so one more time. Leg is parallel, foot is flexed, knee is low, ankle to the edge of the knee, knee to the edge of the ankle, both feet are flexed. Move the hips back so they're nice and square. Walk the hands forward with a nice extended spine while simultaneously pushing yourself back. If you can get low enough that there's nowhere else to go, then you may consider dropping your head and you can continue to push yourself back to deepen the pose. People always ask me, how long should I hold? Answer being at least 5 deep breaths on each side. I'm going to go ahead and finish off on the other side. Meanwhile, let's just say namaste and have a great day.